Hello. How are you?
I am doing very, very, very well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Welcome to the Untitled podcast, which is just a fabulous name. But you're actually the first guest that we've had on the show since we started this as kids. I mean, I'm still young. I guess you could call me a kid. But you're the first guest for our revamped show. So
okay.
Thank you for being our first guest. I know we talked a little bit on Instagram about what we were going to discuss here, but if you could just like address the audience and, you know, tell them who you are, what you do.
I'm Lillie Mae. And that says a lot. I branded my name. I branded my government name. So it's Lillie Mae the Collective. And that is comprised of a business, a civic, and a social component. The business is Sanaj Consulting, which solely focuses on strategic planning and development. The civic would be the public education and community organization that I have always prided myself on. And the social piece is the media correspondent. Now, how does that play into the world of entertainment and things of that nature? Well, it all works together for me to be able to create an audiovisual platform of not just broadcast, but also services to really be able to help creatives understand their place and their position in their respective industries.
When you said that your legal government name is Lillie Mae, did you mean Lillie Mae Collective is your government name?
Oh, no, it's Lillie Mae.
Okay. What type of things do you, like specifically, do you help creatives with?
One thing would be interviewing skills. You know, teaching them how to appropriately articulate themselves in an interview. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? All of that is not necessary. You know, sometimes you can give that, but not after everything that you say. One of the other things would be something such as developing an electronic press kit, or EPK if you will, and helping them understand the contents of the EPK, down to just simple wardrobe and just etiquette. To be honest, I am a behavioral health clinician by day, hence my book. And those things, life skills, and really helping them process through things, those are mostly what I do for creatives. Really and truly, almost like being a mommy to them.
How long have you been doing this now?
Oh, wow. Now, I've been in development and strategic planning. Gosh, I started with academic advisement when I was an undergrad. So since about 2007, yeah. So about 14 years.
That's a good chunk of time.
Entertainment-wise, for about the past 2 years. But completely, because see, you know, of course I'm a professional by day. I was a high school educator, a criminal justice practitioner, and now a behavioral health clinician. So it's been a journey.
Yeah, that's 14 years is a while. I'm turning 21 this month, so I can't imagine.
Oh, you were 7 when I started.
Yeah, I can't imagine doing anything for that long. But I mean, it sounds like you enjoy it.
Yep, your generation is the generation that is built upon, listen, I need to create my own thing because I can't stay anywhere a long time.
Yeah, I feel like that at work.
Yeah.
What sort of things do you said you're a creative yourself, right? So what sort of things are you doing?
So I have a couple of platforms. So the primary platform is It's Consulting Time, and that's an audiovisual platform for independent creatives that pretty much provides them a space to speak freely and consciously. And the give off for the audience is that we provide joy, jewels, and justice. The joy is the love in the conversation. The jewels are the educational content that may be dropped by myself or my guests. And the justice is really creating a platform that stands for something and doesn't fall for anything. Then I have All Things Authentic, and that's more about 21st century living trends. So on All Things Authentic, we may talk about the Black Lives Matters movement. We may talk about relationships and dating. We may talk about financial literacy and what it means to be financially literate. So many different things. And the biggest platform that just launched on Father's Day is ID 104 Radio, home of the independently dope. So if your podcast needs a home, bring it on over.
Radio?
Uh-huh.
What? So
it's a digital station. It's a digital station.
Are these like websites that you're creating?
Absolutely. So, well, the radio station is on Live 365. Like I said, it is ID 104 Radio. So you can go to www.id104radio.com. Its consulting time is a live audio visual. So we would be like this, but we are broadcast on StreamYard. It airs to YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope. But my YouTube channel has everything. But not only that, we go to events and we cover events. So we have media credentials with so many prestigious outlets. And so it's been a blessing.
That's very cool. I was thinking about getting this show on some sort of radio like Sirius XM, but I didn't have any success with finding good radio platforms.
Well,
are all of your projects mainly website based? Like you create your own website and have your own everything, or because you said you had a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting because I'm very hands-on. Mm-hmm. Honestly, a lot of my work is face-to-face. So when I go to events, I may provide coverage of that event, but for the most part, I'm in your face and we're collaborating. The strategic planning and things of that nature, that's sit down and business work. That means we're sitting down, we're having a consultation. I got a notebook here, a computer here, a computer there, a tablet there, 2 or 3 phones. That's how we work.
When you first started your whole journey, did you find any struggles with trying to get the wheel moving?
Honey, it still struggles.
Oh.
New levels, new demons. So this has been me. Even as a child, and my mom, I didn't know this. Of course I didn't know. But my mother said that even when I was starting to walk, no matter how much they tried to hold my hand, I would jerk away and fall and get right back up again. I would not stop until I got it. So that's me as an adult. I will, and God knows I'm not a carpenter. My great-great-granddaddy was, and he used to build coffins for fat people and everything, because we're a big family, so we needed some big coffins. But, but I will attempt to build something. It might fall in the floor, but I'm going to figure out how to make it stand. And so I say that to say, struggles come every day, but you know what the biggest struggle is? The biggest struggle is the struggle within you. And so until you conquer whatever the demon is inside of you that makes you feel like you can't do it, you're going to always struggle. So now when I have struggles, I get on my group chat with my sisters and I'm like, y'all talk to me because I'm feeling this type of way. And all they got to do is say 2 or 3 words and I'm ready to move again.
What are some of your own personal struggles?
Oh gosh. I'm an overachiever. I am an overachiever. I want everything to be done to the T. I am over-organized and I over-plan. So I struggle with a lot of people in this industry because they will throw an event together in a week. That makes me angry. It gets on my nerves. I'm like, how the hell can you have an effective event? No, you can't. They do now. The behind the scenes is off the chain, but the finished product looks good. But see, for me, I need my behind the scenes and my product to be in order. So that, and also not knowing how to say no. I grew up in a family where we were taught that it's more blessed to give than to receive. So I give more. I give probably triple or quadruple what I receive. But the quality of what I receive, outweighs the quantity every time.
So are you going to conventions and conferences often? Because it sounds like that's a big thing that you're doing, like being face to face.
I'm glad that you said that. My goal for 2022 is to do more speaking on panels and individually, because there are certain things that I need to convey to the world, certain messages that need to be conveyed that people don't want to hear. But I do believe that I am the vessel that can get the message across. So yes, sir, definitely.
Did COVID kind of hinder your conventions and conferences? No?
COVID actually did everything for me. I'm going to be real with you, because you got to think about it. COVID put all independent media outlets on the same level playing ground with all the mainstream outlets. Why? Because they couldn't go nowhere.
When trying to get on a panel,
okay,
how does someone do that? Because I'm assuming not everyone can just like sign a form and then go be on a panel and go speak. Like you need to have, I've never spoken on a panel anywhere, but I think you need to have, in a word, some form of authority. And how would one go about getting on a panel or public speaking?
So the first thing is you have to have a one sheet. First and foremost, you need a speaker sheet. You need something that's going to specify who you are, what your expertise is, and you need to be able to validate and be able to prove, okay, I really am an expert in this area. Because a lot of times people will say they're experts in the area and they're really not. You know, there are things that I'm very knowledgeable about, but I'm not an expert. And so the first step is creating your speaker sheet and making sure that your speaker sheet has everything on there that you are an expert in. Expert. And then the second phase would be you look for people that are kind of looking for introductory or entry level speakers. Because a lot of times we want to crawl, you know what I'm saying? We want to walk and not crawl. You have to crawl before you walk. So the best thing to do is look for opportunities to speak to like children, or even the nursing home. That's a population that people don't think about. People in the nursing home need entertainment. Go and can you broadcast your show from there and incorporate some of them? So getting on panels and things like that, it's kind of like you have to cultivate your own space before you start, pitching yourself or getting someone to pitch you for opportunities.
Do those sheets have to be an all-in-one, just like ready to go, or could it be a multi-page thing?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I would rather see all of your stuff at once. I'm not about to be flipping a whole lot of pages. It's almost like they used to tell you with a resume, but your electronic press kit is multiple pages, and most of the time you send that out, for major things. But speaking and panels, they normally want a one sheet.
So it's like a menu at a restaurant, but for who you are.
There you go.
When you're helping other people make their own press kits, what are some really great things that you find and some really bad things that people include?
Let's do the bad first. A lot of people have bios that are so detailed that a year from now, they're not going to be able to use the same bio because they have information in there that was specific to a certain point in time. Your bio needs to hit your high points, your demographics, what you're doing, what your areas of focus are. Then you can have an affiliation page or discography page, whatever your discipline is. You can have other pages that are interchangeable. You feel what I'm saying? But your biography, that's generally the biggest thing that I find. People's biographies are way too long and they are too specific. The other thing is just not having quality pictures and not having pictures of them doing what they say they're doing. Some of the really, really good things are on the flip side. So my alarm is going off in the background and I don't know why, and I don't want to get up and walk over there and turn it off. But anyway, so some of the really good things are the same as the bad things. Some people have a lot of high quality photos and we can, put those in and fill it up with pictures and they have great information. So it's kind of a catch-22. Photos can be bad, photos can be good. I love people that really have videos and more interactive information for their EPK so that when people click on it, they can go to something really, really dope.
So is an EPK like a PDF, or because I was thinking how would someone integrate a video into an EPK?
Hyperlinks. You can put hyperlinks into your electronic press.
Okay.
It is a PDF, but the hyperlink will take you to where you need to go. Now, like with our record label, we do have embedded EPKs where each person on the Artist Advisory Council has a website. So it's kind of cool.
When you're adding your own photos, because I've seen your EPK, and your EPK looks incredible, and you have some amazing photos. If someone, I'm assuming your photos were professionally taken by a photographer, correct?
Yes.
If someone doesn't have a professional photographer, how would you recommend for someone to take their own pictures that look really good?
You know what? I'm going to tell you what I would do. I would tell them, send your pictures to me and let me give them over to Miss Steffi. Because Miss Steffi can make you look like a whole supermodel with her editing skills. You know, with all the editing software out there, and everybody swear by iPhones. I have Apple products, but I'm an Android girl to the core. But get some editing software and edit your pictures and make them look professional. YouTube will teach you how to do anything.
Have you found any good videos or channels on YouTube to help people try to do what you do?
Ooh, I haven't, but you know what? It's interesting. You just really showed me something. I don't go looking for it. I hear people talk about it, but I'm more in tune with Facebook groups with professionals, and I get more ideas from those Facebook groups. But you gotta think about it too. I'm an earlier millennial, and so we came up on the Facebook grind. We were Facebook. We actually went to the library. We know what a card catalog is, so it's a little bit different. YouTube, it's crazy. I'll go to YouTube to learn how to do something with one of these wigs. But I don't. But you know what? Just because of you, I'm gonna start.
I was born in 2000, so I use YouTube for everything. Like if I don't know how to do something, or if I can't call my dad or ask like a family member, like I just go on YouTube. Like I had to change my light bulb in a car the other day. I didn't know where it was or how to take it out. I went on YouTube, looked up my car.
My homeboy does that. He works on cars and he goes to YouTube for everything. So it makes sense.
There's a funny thing that Elon Musk said. He said that
you don't need college to learn stuff, okay? Everything is available basically for free. You can learn anything you want for free. It is not a question of learning. So I think colleges are basically for fun and to prove you can do your chores.
In essence, I would somewhat agree. I mean, I look at my wall and it's drenched with credentials. There are certain things I do still swear by practical application and training for. Like, I'm not going to let someone operate on me that learned on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I will say this. As a behavioral health clinician, I struggle with how many life coaches have popped up, because the reality is a life coach isn't licensed, nor did they have to go through 4,000 hours of training. You can just go online and Google how to be a life coach. So I do feel like the internet has discounted professions in which we spend countless hours, getting licensed and getting credentialed for certain things. And I also feel like the information is so ambiguous because everybody is saying something, and you're going to go with the person that aligns mostly with your viewpoint.
My mom is actually working to become a life coach.
Really?
Yes.
And I would charge you to ask her why she doesn't just want to become a licensed professional counselor. Is it because it's easier and quicker? Because the reality is this: you can mess somebody up not truly understanding developmental psychology and organizational behavior. And so that's why when we were having this conversation, I tell people all the time, be credible. So you see, I have my career development interventions always on hand. I have my complete adult psychotherapy planner always on hand, because I never know when I'm going to come up against something that I may not have learned in school, nor am I dealing with at work. And I also have what's called the DSM-5. This is the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Health Disorders. And with all of these books, That is how I'm able to support clients. See, a lot of people feel like consulting is just talking to people. I am actually credentialed in 4 different disciplines: human services, criminal justice, education, and counseling. So I don't just do one thing. Like, I'm going to interpret these laws for you, as well as help you understand why you're reading and not able to comprehend what you're reading. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then I'm going to help you work through the fact that you can't comprehend like your friend, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do some business stuff. So it's so many different things that I struggle with the internet, and how the internet makes everybody think they're expert at everything, when there really are some of us that have spent 12, 20 years in a classroom really learning and obtaining the knowledge that we needed for it to be embedded and absorbed.
There is a lot of information on the internet, but not everything can be available. Are there any good books that you would recommend to anybody to help them?
I think for creatives, especially in the music industry, all you need to know about the music industry, and just for anybody growing up right now, you need to read, it's an old book. The Rich Get Richer, the Poor Get Prison. I think if all young people read that, it was a text that I had to read when I was in undergrad. The Rich Get Richer and the Poor Get Prison. I'm telling you, if you read it, it will open your mind and your perspective, and you will truly understand that everything isn't always about black and white. It's really about green and nothing.
Wow. That's pretty profound.
You know something? I will say this. We all know that prejudice exists.
Yeah.
But when I really started to look at what was really going on, and I looked at my life, and I looked at how on the surface I look like the stereotypical black female because I'm tatted up, I got long nails, I wear big hair. But when I realized that because of my resume and my credentials, I can walk in rooms and sit at tables and say what I want to say to some people that I couldn't do it if I didn't have all those credentials, that's when I realized it's not just the color of my skin. It's really socioeconomic status. And it just so happens that so many of us minorities do not go and overachieve. So while I say that being an overachiever is my weakness, it's also been a blessing for me to exist and thrive in corporate America today.
In your industry, have you experienced any struggles or injustices with being a black woman?
In my professional career, yes, of course, because once again, corporate America is a beast. And corporate America is a place where a lot of people want you to go along to get along, and I have never been like that, nor will I ever be like that. So I always go against the grain. However, in this industry, in the entertainment industry, no. And I think too, I am very, very bold, straightforward, and direct. So I don't get a whole lot of lashback from anybody. If anything, they gonna say something behind my back and hope it don't get back to me.
When you're helping creative people try to build a business, is it difficult to make the creative and business one?
Hell yeah. Because in their mind, all they want to do is create. They don't understand the importance of understanding the business. I'm not saying you always got to handle the business, but you need to know the business. Why do you think so many creators go bankrupt? Because they don't know the business. They don't know where their stuff going.
I feel personally that I'm a good middle ground with business things and creative things. I do a lot of video, but I do think about and plan a lot about business ideas, but I never go after those ideas for many reasons, but I mainly just do video creative things.
Okay, well, but you can always, monetize that. And I think that this platform that you have is super dope because you are opening it up to different people so that you can start obtaining and gaining a different audience, which is going to work out for you. So technically you are in the business.
In a way. I mean, with this podcast, I started this specific podcast in 2016. Yeah, I did this with a friend of mine. We started it in 2016, and we did it for I think 2 years. Then we stopped to do other creative things, and then he went to the Air Force. Now he's in Alaska, and we were doing a lot of video calls like this because I'm in California, he's in Alaska. There's no way we can just hang out. So we started doing a lot of these video calls, and I thought, why don't we just do the podcast again? And now it's here. Yeah.
There you go. That's how it starts. Just take a stand. I tell everybody, just take a stand and do it.
Well, it's getting close to that time. Do you have any recommendations for people or how to find you?
Well, first and foremost, you can find me. Just Google Lillie Mae the Collective. I am everywhere. On Instagram, you can find me at Sanaj Consulting Express. That's SENOJCONSULTING Express without the E, so it's just XPRESS. And also, I'm on Instagram at ID104 Radio, and it's consulting time. Pretty much go there, you'll see everything because everything is linked. My Instagram is going to go to my Facebook and my Twitter. There's a link tree there where you can find everything, and then you can also go to sky4records.net and you can find everything about the label as well as my brand, because we have a lot of different things going on. And just for final words, I would say be true to yourself, be prayerful, be vigilant, and be watchful.
That's a very nice way to conclude this episode.
Thank you for having me, and I would love to have you on mine as well, so we're going to get it together. I would love for you to come on, you and your partner, and just talk about how you guys cultivated this platform.
Well, thank you, Lillie Mae, for being on the Untitled podcast.